Hey lovely students, I'm Kave and today's lesson is another grammar of English tenses series, past simple. It's a very useful grammar which you can use it to talk about something that happened yesterday, last week, last year, and things that happened before now. Past simple is talking about something that started in the past and finished in the past. It has no relation with present time. Everything happened before now. If we have the verb to work in past, we can say I worked, you worked, we worked, they worked, he worked, she worked, and it worked. As you can see, nothing has changed but the verb. Just add ed at the end of the verb. As you can see, the verb is same for all the subjects. And so that's easier than present simple, that we needed to change the verb because of he, she, and it. I mean, we added s or es, but in the past, it doesn't matter what the subject is, the verb is same. Let's talk about when to use past simple. We can use past simple with time expressions. For example, Jack called last week, or without time expressions like I cooked dinner. Or we can use it for recent past. I met her yesterday. Or distant past, like she lived in Paris long time ago. Or it can come with one action. For example, she talked to her sister. Or we can say many actions. They invited their friends, they ordered sandwiches, and they played games. Let's find out how to use it. The first thing you need to know is that in past simple tense, we've got two kinds of verbs, regulars and irregulars. So how should we know which one is regular and which one is irregular? So simple. Regular verbs usually get ed at the end or d. For example, we say work, worked, cook, cooked, watch, watched. But irregular verbs, they sometimes have a little change or they change completely. Like we say go, went. It changed completely. See, saw. Buy, bought. Write, wrote. Let's talk about the positive, negative, and question form of past simple. We say, as you can remember, we had I worked, you worked, we worked, they worked, he worked, she worked, and it worked. So easy, yeah? Now let's talk about the negative forms. When we want to make it negative, we need an auxiliary verb or helping verb. In the present simple, if you can remember, it was do or does, but in the past, we only have did. We say, I didn't work, you didn't work, we didn't work, they didn't work, he didn't work, she didn't work, and it didn't work. And for making a question, we add did again. Did I work? Did you work? Did we work? Did they work? Did he work? Did she work? And did it work? You might notice something here. After did, we have the base form of the verb again. So whenever we have did as a question, word, or when we are making them negative, after them we need to use the base form of the verb, like I didn't work. We didn't say I didn't worked. Or did they work? We didn't say did they worked. So after did, we use the base form. And we have the same story for irregular verbs. For example, I say I bought a book. You bought a book. We bought a book. They bought a book. And so on. And for making them negative, again, we use didn't. I didn't buy a book. You didn't buy a book. We didn't buy a book. Again, after didn't, we have the base form. And we use the same thing for making questions. Now the spelling of ed. Most of the verbs that are regular, they just get ed. Like walk, walked, cook, cooked. But those verbs that they are ended in e, we just add d. Like bake, baked, use, used. And those verbs that are ended in y, and before y we have a consonant, we drop y and add ied. What are consonants? Those words that are not vowels. Vowels are a, e, I, o, u. The others will be called consonants. So, for example, we have cry. Before y we have r as consonant, so we drop y and add ied. It would be like this, cried. Or we have study. Before y, again, we have a consonant, we say studied. Another spelling form is CVC. Consonant, vowel, consonant. When it's like this, we double the last letter and then add ed. For example, we have stop. P is consonant, O is vowel, and T is consonant. So we write it like this, stopped with double P. Or plan. We have consonant at the end, then vowel, then consonant. It would be like this, planned. Now let's talk about the pronunciation of ed. It has got three pronunciation, t, d, or ed. It depends on the last letter of the base form at the end. If the last letter is voiced like M, N, R, V, and G, how do we know the voiced sounds? Just put your fingers on your throat. If you feel the vibration or it makes any vibration on your throat, so it is called voiced. When it is ended with voiced word, it's pronounced d. For example, learned, played, loved. But if the end letter is unvoiced, it has no vibration on your throat like k, s, p, f, ch, sh. They pronounced t like cooked, worked, washed. And the last one, which is the easiest one, if they are ended in T or D, they are pronounced ed. For example, wanted, invited, started, and ended. The easiest way to learn them is listening to podcasts, to the teachers, to the movies, or to English speakers to learn them perfectly. Let's give short answers to our yes or no questions. They ask us, did Jack finish his report? We answer, yes, he did. No contraction or short form is allowed. No, he didn't. Did she buy a laptop? Yes, she did. No, she didn't. Didn't is the short form of did not. At the end we say, did you learn past simple? You've got just one option. Yes, we did. I don't write no, I didn't because you can watch it again and learn it for sure. Now let's talk about some common mistakes that might students have. Sometimes the mistake is about tense. For example, they say, I gave him my laptop yesterday. Is it true to say, I gave him my laptop? No, because it's a past form tense. We have yesterday. So we should say gave as an irregular verb. Or sometimes we have a problem with verb forms, like she righted the report. It's not true to say righted because write is an irregular verb. We should say she wrote the report. They didn't called. They didn't call. When we have didn't, we can't use past form anymore. We should use the base form after didn't. Did you had lunch? We can't say had after the didn't. We should say, did you have lunch? The past form of have is had, but we can't use it with did or didn't. And sometimes they have a problem with spelling, like he stopped smoking. They just have one P, they didn't double P. You should say stopped. He stopped smoking. Or they make a question without helping verbs. For example, you wake up early yesterday. Did you wake up early yesterday? Or he speak to his boss last week? Did he speak to his boss last week? They forgot did again. So my dear students, that was the end of past simple. I hope you have learned this grammar like the other grammar tenses. Thank you for watching.